Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever it is, wherever you are. My name's Katie, and this is Moon Mama Musings. Welcome back to my living room for another astrology or energy peephole. For today, the 4th of November 2021, we are in a waning crescent moon that will transit to the sign of Scorpio at 7:53 a.m. Bangkok. So, very, very lovely. Very, very lovely. I got the snake is shedding its skin. There was a very clear imagery. I was meditating and having a lovely afternoon, and I thought, oh wait, I have to make some videos. And during my meditation, there had been some lovely imagery of snakes doing their thing with the whole shedding of the unnecessary, renewal. It's just beautiful. I also got some imagery of the fungi have come back. The fungi imagery, the mushrooms imagery is coming back. I see mushrooms all the time lately, and they brought that to my attention again. And imagery of fungi or mushrooms, again, is another imagery of renewal, because fungi have the remarkable capacity to take over something and at a microscopic level transform it and make it into something else. It can basically like recycle. It's like it's like the recycling plant of the forest in a way. It'll eat away like old wood and dead leaves and things like that. It takes something that's no longer useful and returns it to the soil, returns it to the earth. It has a real capacity to do amazing things. So when imagery of mushrooms come up, you should be expecting some sort of change. And with the moon transiting to Scorpio today, the snake and the fungus definitely have very, very, very relevant imagery, as Scorpio is all about transformation, about death and rebirth, about closing one door and opening another. Lately, I've been having little moments of throwbacks to old messages that I had in some of my previous videos, and something I talked about for a very long time was being in the space between two doors. Is once you close one, another one will inevitably open almost by the force of the air vacuum, like it closes and the other one will go kind of like that. And then it's up to us to actually open the door, to walk through the passageway and not just like stand in space between two doors. That space is important for insulation. Like if you're from somewhere cold, like where I'm from Montreal, and in the wintertime, when you go into a shopping mall or into a big building, they've almost always got two sets of doors, because if it was just one set, you open the door and like the snow and the wind and the cold comes straight into the building. So at least if there's two sets of doors, one door opens and it closes before the next opens and all the cold comes in. So I do feel that we are going through some massive transformation right now, and we might be in that space between two doors again with this moon transit through Scorpio. But that's the process of the fungus needs time to recycle. The snake needs time to actually wiggle from the old dead skin, right? It doesn't happen right away. It needs to move around a little bit to get it all off. So there is a process and there is some timing involved. All right, we have 4 aspects that I'd like to talk to you guys about. First and foremost, the moon in Scorpio is conjunct Mercury. And this is lovely because Mercury has come out of shadow, of retrograde on the 2nd. It's freeing up a lot of interesting energy for us. It's making us a lot more, articulate, communicative, tech savvy, or willing at the very least, etc., etc. It's traveling, health, all of these things are affected by Mercury. So share your experiences, I'm hearing. A conjunction is often, I refer to it as the invasion of the body snatchers. So the moon, which is in Scorpio, which is responsible for our the moon is responsible for emotions and subconscious and the feminine energies. Mercury is kind of taking over that role and saying, all right, we've got a very good firm sense of emotional stability. We've got a very good grasp over what our subconscious cues are to us to try and keep our course corrections in check. And Mercury is coming in and saying, with all of this great energy, let's use it for good and let's share it. Let's speak. Let's express ourselves. Let's go out there. Let's move around. Let's make the changes to our health that we need. Make the changes to our routine that benefit our health. And then that could be your mental health, that could be your social health, that could be your personal health, that could be your body. It doesn't matter. It's just all these Mercurian energies we're being encouraged to share them. We're being encouraged to let your inner chatty Cathy take over. Um, Especially with regards to things like change, like I said, the moon in Scorpio right now is basically saying, look, we've done all this great work with our feminine energies. We've received, we're co-creating with the universe. So let's talk about actually what we want to do to change this. Let's talk about how we want to change this. Let's talk about how we want to move forward, where we want to go, goals and all that kind of stuff, but being very clear and communicative about it. So maybe you're going to be having good conversations today, but from a very good, feminine, receiving, heart-spaced place. Um, yeah, receptive conversations. It's really good. The moon is also sextiling Venus. Venus is in the sign of Capricorn, transiting. It's right now in the sign of Sagittarius, but tomorrow it goes over to the sign of Capricorn. So it's spent some time in a very collective energy and a very community-centered energy that has a lot of connotation with our goals and where we're going forward. It's finishing up there, and it's moving into the sign of Capricorn, where we look at our material world and our belongings and our surroundings, and we see how they contribute to the structure and the stability of our life. The sign of Capricorn is often, for me, it brings imagery of the backbone, right? So like, what does your spine do? It creates the structure for your body. It holds you up straight. So this is energies that are dealing with that. Often when we deal with these energies, though, as Capricorn is often associated with the death card the devil card in tarot, it does always have some sort of very, there's a polarity to it, right? And that polarity has to do with, maybe our shadowy self, our temptations, our addictions, our ways that we numb things, and etc. etc. But abundance is on our mind right now. The energy of Venusian energies are on our mind, and in any of those two connotations, they are just very much at the forefront of our mind right now. But so, and we're looking to change that state. Whatever your state of abundance was, and abundant energy can do with creativity, can do with love and relationships, can do with sexuality, can do with money itself, career, all that kind of stuff. Creativity is a really, really, really big one. So like whatever state you're in, you're looking to change it. And with the sextile, it's a healing energy. So Venus and the moon coming together, or in this aspect, it's transformation of our current state of abundance to better support ourselves in any way, shape, or form that makes sense to you. It doesn't have to be with money, but I mean, money is just a physical representation of energy. Yeah. Yeah, of course, if you're working on your abundance energy, if you're working on your Venusian energies, it can probably have a money connotation, but it probably affects various areas of your life, and you might not even be so aware of how exactly intertwined they are. The moon is also in opposition with Mars. So opposition is a tug of war energy, and Mars, our warrior, the way that we move forward, the way that we go and get him, in Scorpio is it's been having a little party. It's been really enjoying its time now, because it was so stuck for so long, that now that it's in Scorpio, the energy is freeing up, and we're feeling a lot more free reign to move around. We're feeling a lot more like we can actually take the bull by the horns. Yeah. So we're kind of hold on a second. This was a kind of a convoluted energy. I got this vibe of like, it's like lately we've been faced with some choice to make. That we've needed to decide what options we want to go for. Yeah, maybe in a little while ago, you were feeling a little confused about where you were going, because it looked like either everything didn't seem to be going anywhere, or like you had too many options in front of you and you weren't sure exactly how to progress forward. Like, what is the right path for me is the kind of question that this brings up to me when we're talking moon opposite Mars, right? How do we feel? How do we move? Like, what exactly is happening here? Like, how do we actually proceed? How do we actually proceed? How do we feel about moving forward towards some sort of a choice? And what I kind of got is, it's like, we're really being pushed right now to take action. And I heard that if you haven't really been able to make a concrete choice with regards to these like sort of confusion energies that have been coming up lately, it's you're it's almost like I heard, ready or not, here I come, you can't hide. I'm gonna find you and make you love me. It's like we have to move now, no matter how we feel about it. Yeah. Some of you may be feeling really, really positive. Some of you may be feeling not so positive, right? Scorpio can be a very deep energy, which can cause confusion for some. Yeah. Something that is so profound can be hard to grasp when we don't have a firm sense of ourselves. Yeah. And we need to stay grounded. Scorpio, being a water energy as well, is very fluid. And when it's not, it can have a mind of its own, like the ocean, like if there's a storm and you're out on the sea, there's not very much that you can do about it, right? But just as justly, you can sort of do things to help yourself. You're going to be on that boat rocking in the waves no matter what. But if you start to feel queasy, at least all right, I'm going to look towards the distance, towards where I'm going. Like I'll look towards the land, right? I'm going to focus on that firm point that I'm going to in order to sort of give myself a little bit more of a relative, like a visual reference, so that even though the motion of the ocean is rocking me, I can still kind of hold firm. So ready or not, here I come. If you've not really made choices about how you want to proceed with this transformation that's happening in your life, I'm afraid that things are going to start moving whether you like it or not. And this is confirmed for me because we have the moon also squaring Saturn. And a square can be a challenging obstacle, boundaries, just like a kind of a bit of a universal punch in the face in a lot of ways. It doesn't have to be violent, but it's definitely it's something that's putting strain on whatever situation is, and it could be positive or negative, right? But Saturn is the planet of karma, of structure, of the way things are, or the way it's like the way we do things around here. I've talked about that before. And what this tells me is this moon in Scorpio time, especially today, we're really the karmic wheel is turning. It's turning now for realsies in our and maybe the motion of the ocean is a little bit is making us queasy. Sorry, I have to write that down. Maybe it's making us queasy, and it's just like, well, look, we chose to get on the boat. We knew that the weather wasn't great. We knew that there was a chance that things were going to get rocky, and now we just kind of have to tough it out until we hit the land. There's no choice. We can't like turn back, move forward. Either way, you're on a boat. It's not like you can just instantly remove yourself from the situation. So the karmic wheel is turning, and you're being urged to keep up. Just keep up. It's time. Like, pick up the pace, and I mean, well, Mars is kind of going pick up the pace. It's you got to keep up with what's going on here, and Saturn is the one that's kind of fueling it all forward, saying, look, as above, so below. There's things that have happened in your life. There's stuff that's gone on in the last little while, and there will be repercussions, and good or bad. So wherever you are in that energy, whatever you've reaped, you will sow, right? And I think that the majority of you guys have been doing really beautiful work, and you've been making huge breakthroughs and making massive change, and the energies have been reflecting it. I do feel that there are some people that are still sticking in a little bit of denial about certain things, though. And there's been gentle pushes, there's been violent pushes, there's been all kinds of different ways to do it, and now it's just like, look, the preparation phases are over. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's get the card of the day. That one was very okay. It's not this one, but it's a tip of the hat to what I was saying about keeping your eye on the land when you're in the boat to keep you from getting seasick. With pure nature, this is a card that always tells me to ground myself. It's with that big red rose too. It's very root chakra. Allow your root chakra to bloom. This could be a Kundalini awakening for some of you guys. but definitely it's an energy of using the grounded forces. Okay. Eva. Eva is a number 16. She breaks to a 7. 7 is a number for me of, yes, luck and expansion, but also about self-development in an interior sense. It could be about shadow work for some of you guys right now. But Eva is a card that talks about feminine energies used for manipulative reasons, about using your feminine guiles, so to speak. You know, Eva's a girl that kind of wanders out of the forest and is like, whoa. Let's look her up real quick. She's come up recently, but let's read it out again, because if she's back, it's because there's something we've missed. So Eva is number 16. Duplicity, deception, and caution are the keywords. Out of the jungle steps a woman, half of her body covered with exotic plants and flowers. A snake wriggles around her neck. A woman presents herself like a sweet fruit to be picked. She offers excitement and novelty, but careful, her kiss could be as toxic as the bite of a snake. Like a deceitful friend or lover, her unreadable countenance masks her true intentions. So, when the motion of the ocean gets us, we can either wallow in misery or we can do something to help ourselves, I'm hearing. And we're being called to be very careful with how we use our shadow energy right now, because in an overexpressed form, it's almost as if we could be, it's like delaying the process in a way. It's like trying to put the snake skin back on it. You know, like it's very interesting vibes, because obviously, like, she's grounded. She's part of the jungle, right? They said she's covers in flowers, and she's got the snake around her neck. So she's one with the jungle. She understands transformation. If she's got a snake around her neck, she's clearly not afraid of it, right? But it can be toxic. So transformation can be really difficult if it's not meow. Sorry, if it's not used for good. Sorry about that, my friends. Yeah, never a dull moment on my street corner. Yeah, so this goes to say that she could be tempted to sort of fall into shadow sides of things, but she does have her grounding forces on her side. She is very capable of grounding herself and becoming part of, like, the greater nature of things. But it's just about finding a balance, I'm hearing. It's just about finding a balance. Let's get a little advice. Oops. Okay, that one. This one. Okay. Speaking of cards that came out recently that clearly we've missed something. Okay, so support and shifting. In this time of transformation, it's okay if you feel a little unsteady, all right? Just don't be afraid to ask for help. Ask for support. Hang in there, absolutely, was the message about the support before, because haha, hanger, dad jokes. But ask for help. Ask for help with this shift. You know, like, you don't have to go at this alone, right? There's big energies moving, and it can be uncomfortable. So if you need a hand, ask for one. You know what I mean? Allow and vulnerability. This was a very strong message in yesterday's live. If you've not seen it, yesterday on the 2 days ago, I record videos in the back. 2 days ago, the live for the moon transit through Libra over on Instagram, Moon Mama Musings on Instagram. We talked about this a lot. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. It's not a bad thing. This is your armor. Vulnerability is your armor. It doesn't make you weak. Okay, so go and check that out. Again, I will urge you, go check out Brene Brown in all of everything. Just look at all of it. She's fantastic. I won't bore you again. Romance and unfulfilled. Some of you guys have dealt with some particular disappointments in romance in the recent past. It doesn't have to be like yesterday, but it can be in the recent past. And hey, in terms of the universe, the recent past could be in the last 5, 10, 15 years, whatever. But you've dealt with a lot of unfulfilled energy with regards to romance, and it brings a lot of great sadness into your life. But the thing is that sadness interferes with your ability to be inspired and to use your creative energies. We talked about Venusian energy a little bit earlier in this video, right? And Venusian energy has very much to do with the way that we create. And when we are constantly worried about unfulfilled energies, we're actually stopping ourselves from being able to create new ideas, bring on new inspiration, feel new interesting things. And honestly, it's just shortchanging yourself. All right. Feel your emotions. Absolutely. You're a human being. You're entitled to feel your emotions. But just like we talked about, finding that balance, know when you're doing so for a productive goal and when it ends up being a little bit gratuitous and just it will inevitably end up holding you back. So be very wary, my friends, of that interference of self with self, and just open it all up. This You're shedding your skin right now, and you are undergoing transformation, and it's best just to sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Okay. All right. That's it for me. I will see you again tomorrow. And I will also be over on Instagram live today for the moon transit. But until then, I'm so sorry for anything you're going through if I've made you feel a certain way. Thank you for being a beautiful being and lending your energy to this circuit that I hold so dear. Thank you to your guides, my guides, the Ascended Masters, angels, and whatever other energies have helped us get these clear, concise messages whenever it is that we find them. It doesn't really matter about the dates and the astrology. It's if you're here, the message is for you. I love you to the moon and stars and to infinity and beyond and back, and I accept this, and I hope you do too. But if not, it's no stress at all. All right, we'll catch you soon.